Hi, my name is Ashley Thurn, and for my final project, I decided to read a book called The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. It's a popular book in the media because it deals with a lot of different topics such as addiction, dysfunctional families, mental health issues, all different sorts of things that families can go through that really affect who they are as a human. For this book, I wanted to pick a book that wasn't just about addiction, that really dealt with a lot of what families go through when someone in the family is addicted to pills or alcohol. And for Jeanette, growing up in her home, her father Rex was addicted to alcohol, spending more time in the bars and gambling money away, coming home drunk, really being just an impulsive person and having a lot of traits that are in addiction. Jeanette started out the book as a really sad scene. She was trying to make hot dogs as a 3-year-old and burned herself. Her father wasn't anywhere to be found, so her mother took her to the hospital. And when they got there, her father he didn't show up for a couple of days. When he finally did show up, he took her and said that they weren't paying the hospital bills and just took her out of the hospital under no supervision of doctors, anything like that. That kind of theme continues throughout the book because she does become neglected by her father, and dealing with his alcoholism for her is something that's really difficult. Rex shows the kind of traits that you would expect to see in someone that's addicted to any type of substance at all. He is very compulsive, very impulsive. There's domestic violence in their family. There's one point in the book where he holds his wife, Jeanette's mother, outside a window, dangling her off a 2-story ledge because he's drunk and they're fighting. Jeanette and her siblings convince him to bring her back in the house and to let her go. In the book, Jeanette describes how her father had a bunch of different jobs and a bunch of great traits and work ethic, but due to his addiction, he was unable to really keep a job. He worked in the coal mines, and Jeanette described this as something that he really did not enjoy. So it kind of wasn't surprising when I read that he lost his job doing that. There's many times during the book where Rex becomes uncomfortable with whatever situation they're in due to his paranoia, and he just ups the family and they leave and they just find the first house and settle down there. It's a very dysfunctional life, and most of Jeanette's childhood was nomadic. She didn't really grow up in a normal family with a house, and there were plenty of times that Rex spent all the money on alcohol and left the family with no food. And as a young child growing up, Jeanette looked up to her father, and she didn't really understand why he did the things that he did. Her mother had a teaching degree, but she chose not to use it. So there was no income coming in really from her end. She dreamt of being a bohemian artist. So throughout the book, Jeanette is often faced with the fact that neither of her parents are working, neither of them are bringing in money. Her dad is an alcoholic who comes home after claiming he was at work and passes out on the couch from being intoxicated. I really enjoyed this book. I actually read it a couple times just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Jeanette is a well-known author. She started working at the Phoenix, which is a paper out of New York City. She always dreamed of being a journalist, and her father always supported her dreams, which surprised me because he couldn't really follow through with his, but he still could want the best for his daughter. She's a fantastic author, a fantastic speaker. I looked her up on YouTube. And this book really kind of opened my eyes to the fact that, while I know families are different and there's a lot of cultural and ethnicity backgrounds and changes that people have, this really showed me that there are people that go without, and there are people that, have an addiction in their family, and they just have to learn to live with it. It was interesting to see it from a child's viewpoint because she wrote the book through the lens of her younger self, and I found that really interesting. Overall, I really liked this assignment because it was different than your typical assignment. I was able to read a book of my choosing, which I really enjoyed because I could cater it to exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.